Okay. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to let people in. For those that are joining us, thank you so much for coming us on a Sunday. My name is Marie Christensen. I'm going to be one of the hosts today. And then I have my amazing friend on here, Tony, who's also going to be a host. And you guys, please bear with us. This is our first Zoom ever, and we are still trying to learn things out. But I just appreciate you guys coming on and listening to our stories right now. This is something that we're going to keep kind of doing maybe throughout the month and sometimes with that, and just bear with our stories and that then too. But I do just need to say one thing. We are not medical doctors. We do not give medical advice at all. We are just two women in perimenopausal phase, midlife phase, who have found different solutions than what we were looking for from our main doctors and could not get the help that we wanted to. So we're just here sharing our stories. We are not doctors. We do not prescribe anything, but we can connect you to the doctors and to the company that we do use that is doctor prescribed, that is safe, that is under doctor regulations and everything at all. We are just not doctors and we don't prescribe anything. So just bear that in mind. And so with that, I'm going to give it one more minute. I know there's a couple more people kind of coming on, you guys. But again, thank you so much for heading in and coming on. We appreciate you. We appreciate your love and your support and everything that is happening right now. And Tony, while we're waiting, why don't you just give a little bit of your background? I know we're 3:03, so we're not going to keep everybody in and all of that. So why don't we just keep going, Tony? And why don't you tell a little bit about yourself, and I'll just see if more people are joining in here, okay?
Yes, absolutely. So it's well, ultimately I came from a different space than this. I've been in health and wellness for about 15, 20 years almost now. I look back, I can't even believe it's been that long. I'm not a newbie to to this kind of a space, but I'm definitely the tools that I've been using are definitely different than what I've been doing here. So this is kind of all new to me in a sense too, but I'm 8 months in now with LEMD, both as I started as actually I came right in as a promoter, be brand partner right away for myself. But I was a customer. I had found Marie and I was at a really hard place. And I was having a really hard time midlife. I'm going to be 44 this month. And I just found that a lot of what I had done in the past wasn't working the same. And I just felt depleted, tired, just honestly really frustrated with the lack of results I was seeing for the amount of effort I was putting in. Little history. I've always loved to work out. I think that's blood in my bloodlines. My family, a lot of them were in fitness and whatnot. And I've always put my effort in. And like I said, I had been doing something for a while, wasn't working, found Maria at about the right time. I just feel like in my circumstance, I was having perimenopausal symptoms. This is something that's not easily diagnosable, obviously. There's a lot more that goes into that. I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to diagnose anybody with that, by the way, as Marie mentioned, but I wanted to talk about two tools specifically today that I used that helped support this change for me, something that finally changed things for me. Um, like I said, I had felt stuck. My metabolism was slowing down with age. I'm a mother of a 12-year-old. And honestly, ever since having him, things didn't work the same. Things that I had used worked for a little bit and then they didn't. A lot of things were quick fixes for me, is the way I look at it. Surface grade fixes, things that every morning I would have to go back to feel as good the next day. And for me, that just I just got burnt out in that cycle. Over the last, I would fairly say 6 to 7 years, I had personally put on some weight. And again, 26 pounds in my circumstance. I just was uncomfortable with that. I wasn't happy how I felt, and I was fighting my body constantly. It felt like constant uphill battle. Like I was burning a candle at both ends. Like that's how I felt. It was very depleting. It was very just mentally exhausting for me. So I reached a point where diet and exercise alone, they weren't working like they used to. It really wasn't a willpower issue. I've always eaten good. I've tried a million different diets, platforms, programs, counting, using apps to track things. And I wasn't really getting anywhere. My body honestly just stopped responding the way it used to. So for me, this was really frustrating because I was like, I know I'm doing my part because what used to work before doesn't work anymore. So basically, I'm going to go into my what I did here a little bit now into detail. Are you done letting people in, Marie? Are we good? Okay. So for me, the biggest shift, I had lost some weight with this, but the biggest shift for me was how my body was responding. So things, I started a GLP-1 microdose back in May of 2025 with Marie. I found her on social media because she was relatable. Um, I'm gonna say this like I was never obese. Is according to modern medicine. I was never obese. And I was having a hard time with lots of chatter, kind of telling me that I should be able to do this on my own, and guilt for trying anything besides my own effort, which I felt like I was so burnt out on. Doctor's news was more exercise, better diet. So I found Marie. She's like a shining star in the night because I was like, you're relatable to me. There's something about this because of how much I was looking to lose, how much had changed, comparison pictures that I had seen of her. I was like, this is somebody that I could definitely learn from and want to learn these things and understand this. So she took the time, and this again, I could never stop appreciating Marie enough, but she took the time to explain the differences like we do every day on socials and all that, and took the time to explain to me, the benefits and all that. So I was on board. I jumped on with the microdose. The basically my favorite parts about it was like the appetite regulation. It's just something I seem to have a problem with at midlife. My portion control. This sometimes could be an issue for me just because my I don't know. I just felt like I was having a hard time with that as well. I felt more in control. I was not restricted. And the consistency was really easy. This was really something easy to follow. It wasn't once a day, it was once a week. And I figured to myself, how much easier does it really get than that if I can just do my part and show up like I've been showing up, and let's just see what happens. So I kind of treated this for myself like a little science project. Is that to me, that's kind of how I saw it. I was like, let's see what happens in 3 months. And whatever. Well, a couple days in, I instantly knew that this was the missing puzzle piece and that there was just something about this that made everything work better, more fluid. I started to notice differences right away in the reduction of inflammation and stuff like that, the benefits they say will happen. And I fell in love. I fell in love with it head over heels. I couldn't keep my trap shut about it. I was going to keep it to myself initially on social. I wasn't sure because of how people treat all of this. And it was I was just like, and I said, I'm talking about it. I can't keep my mouth quiet. This is incredible. More women my age deserve to understand what this is, what they're taking, and how it's not as scary. Because I was scared. I didn't like needles. I was like, oh no, I can't do that. And yes, I have tattoos. No, it's not the same. But I was like, I can't do it. There's no way. And it came, and I did it. And I'm not even going to tell you because I do some other peptides. We'll get into one other today, NAD, that I love, but I'm not afraid anymore. It was so much hype and not actual anything scary. So if that's anything that ever gets in anybody's way, because that was like the one thing that almost got in my way is like, I can't do a shot. There's no way I could do this. There's no way. I've gotten hell for that my whole life because I have tattoos. So let me tell you, they're different, but it was nothing. It's awesome. So I overworked some of it. I overthought a lot of it. I had done my homework. Marie was very educated and kind of walking me through the plan. This is what we're doing, and this is what it is, and she was thriving with it. So I felt it was like, what, this is just somewhere I was being called. So anywho, I learned right away that regulating appetite is one part of the GLP-1. And if your cells are tired, stressed, or inflamed, everything feels harder. So this is where you insert NAD plus. And that was another add to me, which I wasn't even sure I needed right away. But a little backstory. I had been in a space of caffeinated supplements for like caffeinated supplements and stimulants for years. And that does make you feel better when you drink something with caffeine or you have something that's caffeinated. It wakes you up, it perks you up. You feel great. You feel like $1 million sometimes. And getting the right nutrition is obviously key on anything. So for years, I thought this is great. I feel okay. And then I didn't. Then I feel okay. And then I didn't, and I wake up in this cycle. Well, anywho, I stopped all that when I started this because I said to myself, I need to figure out a way to obviously, make this work for me economically because it wasn't an easy thing right away, and I was a little afraid of the commitment, but it ended up being the best choice of my life. For as far as my health went, I feel more alive than I ever have. So I asked Marie, I said, if you were to add something into this journey, that might benefit, what do you think? And she's like, I remember her saying something like about that, had to prior, what did you do on prior? So I'm really lacking on energy. I just don't feel like I'm like the same pizzazz. Like I need something. And she's like, have you considered NAD? And so I went on the site and I did the questionnaire. And everything that they had asked me just in the questionnaire was like, oh, it can do this, this, and this. Well, this is great. I'm like, well, so I was very optimistic on that and I ordered it. And I started with that. And I noticed right away better energy, clearer thinking, and overall like resilience. It clicked. They worked really well together. It didn't feel like a stimulant either. It felt like my body had like more capacity. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's kind of how I felt with there was more space for it. And I didn't have to refill the station every morning, which was a big thing for me because that's what I had come from is refilling the station every morning to make it, feel that good again. And I feel like that's something that once you get past that and you realize that you don't have to be like a victim to the coffee pot or a victim to the something that you have to take every morning. It's not that you can't have coffee or but you shouldn't have to rely on it to get through. So mind you, I started taking it on entry level dose and I could feel that. And then I moved up to we have these tiers for it. And it's just like, it's like seeing in color. So the two work really well together. And I quickly learned as soon as my body started to get even more results from it is that the GLP is wonderful because it signals your body to be less hungry. And then you take the NAD and it signals your body to burn fat. And it works with, like the mitochondria. So you're going to get like energy and mental clarity and recovery and aging support from it and some metabolic support too. So basically like neither one of these you know, I would have always started where I started with that one. That's a question I get a lot. Like, if you started over, would you? Now, mind you, fast forward, I've lost 26 pounds, a little bit more than typically recommended on a microdose, but I put a lot of effort in and I wanted to change my body. That was a goal of mine. And I was battling some perimenopausal symptoms and it felt heavy. Everything felt heavy. So, anyhow, I would have still started where I started with that microdose. And I wouldn't have done a stronger dose in my situation because I wasn't sure how I was going to feel. And B, I knew that I have a lot of drive in me and like a lot of desire to do something and I like a good push. So I figured this might be a really good time to revisit my diet and fine tune what I'm doing. And Marie was very adamant about like, you come into this and she's like, your requirement is 100 grams of protein a day or you're not doing this. And I'm like, excuse you. So she at first I was like, and she kept on me. And that's what's good about having somebody to help you through this. This isn't a solo journey. This is why I chose this route instead of something else, because there are places locally that I wouldn't trust to get it from, but you can. And I thought to myself, I don't really want to do this alone. I want to have somebody to ask that knows more than I know, that understands that's done this longer, who has a team of people. You have doctors at your hands who you can contact. I want that because I was nervous. So I took both of them. I took all of her basically like I took her lead. She was just telling me what she had done and how she felt. And that's our job here is to just give you lead you to the water, but we can't make you drink, right? Meaning that that's the doctor's job to do all that part. But for me, I was a beacon of this is what's doing and this is how I felt. So if any of this resonates with you and you're just like meaning like you need something to reignite, where you're like in a spot where things feel heavy. I guess that's the word I'm going to use today because I was just so lost at what to do next. I was giving up on myself. It didn't have the sparkle in my eye. A lot of people notice a really big difference, like I'm going to say the word mentally with me, but they're almost every person like you just there's something. And I said, I know what it is, but you have to believe that that's what it was. So if this resonates and you want more, information like that, just talk to the person who led you here is my biggest journey. Or if you already are and you're wondering about other peptides that Ellie has, the beautiful thing is, and this is my closing part of it, is that I get this question a lot. Can I take multiple things from your site? You can take all of them if you really want to. There, none of those, they all go direct different pathways. They don't overlap. They all serve different signals and they don't and they're all safe together. The doctor will determine that for you, but for me, like I was like one by one trying things to see what they felt like and whatever. So both of us are pretty well rounded in the peptides here. We like them. So if you have questions about something that either one of us don't talk about today, just shoot us a message is the best thing I can say because we'd be happy to go on a tangent like I just did. So this journey has just taught me that working with your body instead of fighting it changes everything. So that's what I've got, and I hope that's helpful to somebody today.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Such an amazing story. And I'm so glad that we have found each other. So it's just unreal. So, all right. Okay, I know a lot. Okay, I'm just gonna mute you real quick, Tony. I'm gonna ask you to mute and go from there. Okay, so with that, you guys, let's talk about my story a little bit because today marks my 1 year anniversary of doing GLP-1s. I started this in February of last year. And I will tell you, I was stuck. I've tried everything under the moon that you could possibly think of, from GLP-1 supplement drinks to powders to pills to macro counting to weigh in my food. I did it all. I work out very much. I would do the 75 hard challenges. I would get down to 1,000 calories a day, which is not healthy. I'm going to tell you that right now. That is like what a toddler should maybe be eating, right? I've done up to 3,000 calories, and that made me very chaotic. So I've done it all. When I say I even hired macro coaches, excuse me, to help me lose weight for almost 10 years. And I had back-to-back babies. I'm 46 years old. I had back-to-back babies. And as women, as we know, perimenopause can last, or menopause, we'll just say menopause altogether, that can last almost 35 years, you guys, because it can start at the age of 35 and it can last up to 65. So it just kind of depends on that phase. But that doesn't mean we need to struggle for 35 years. That doesn't mean that we have to go through all of this. Now, I did go to the doctor. I did get my hormonals checked because I knew something was wrong with me. There was not just about the weight loss. It was about how I was feeling inside, how I was reacting to my kids. I was reacting to my husband, how I felt about me. I was inflamed. I was puffy. My periods are still regular, but I just felt like something was wrong. And when my doctor was like, you're fine. Don't worry. Come back when you have irregular periods. You're probably like perimenopause, whatever. I was like, bullshit. Something is wrong with me because I don't feel like myself. And so and mind you, I was still doing GLP-1 drinks. I was still doing other companies. I was still doing other things, hoping, right? Like if you've been there, you lose the 5 pounds when you start something and you're like, oh my God, I lost 5 pounds. Because we start something new, right? Whatever that might be. And maybe it's even 7 pounds. It's that 5 to 7 pounds that I've always struggled with, but they come back on, right? They just come back on. Eventually your body gets used to the juice or the drink or whatever that is. And it doesn't work anymore. And that's how I was. I was literally trying everything. I was spending hundreds of dollars every month, just praying that this month it will work. I will lose that 5 pounds again. I will lose that again. And it never did. And so when I was on a trip in Greece, I heard about GLP-1s and I was just like, I just don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can inject myself, and when I got back from Greece, I started getting on a GLP-1 powder. Again, I lost the 5 pounds and I was like, okay, maybe this is working. Well, I gained that back very quickly. And I finally hit the year of 2025 and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I just can't. I cannot keep doing what I'm doing. I'm feeling worse every day. I'm feeling inflamed more every day. For the effort that I put in and the workouts that I do, I shouldn't feel like this, right? And it's like eating that piece of cake and regretting it. And then all of a sudden it's like, why did I just do that? And then I would be like, okay, now I have to starve for the next week or whatever that is. Right. Like I couldn't enjoy food. I couldn't stop thinking about food, even though I just got done eating. Things were just going on that I knew were not right. And again, the long run of it all was that I've lost 20 pounds now. I didn't even think I had 20 pounds to lose. I would have been happy with just 10 pounds. just the 10 pounds. And my body just kept releasing the inflammation. It kept releasing the puffiness. It kept releasing the menopausal belly. And that's when I started doing the GLP. I started with the semaglutide just because I was terrified. I didn't know what was going to be happening to me. And so I wanted to start off very small. I do recommend the GLP, the GIP, because there is less nauseating side effects, and it does work 20% more body fat than the semaglutide. But some people who might already be on the semaglutide, that might come in, that might work for them. So it just, again, it might be a trial and error. And so, but I do recommend that because of the nauseating side effects. And they're not bad. I want you to know that they're not bad. They're really not. But so I started off with that. And within that first day of taking that shot, I knew exactly what food noise was. I didn't know what food noise was beforehand until I took that shot, and then it was gone. And I was like, what just happened? What just happened? I didn't know what food noise was. I had no clue what food noise was. I didn't know that me staring at my pantry back there, aimlessly looking at food, was food noise. I didn't know that, I just didn't know that. I just thought it was me being hungry, right? Well, that's food noise. And so that was my first thing. And that first week, I felt a difference. I was like, oh my gosh, where has this been? And why did I not try this sooner, right? And so even with the food noise, I felt my body, and I know people might say this is weird, but the food noise, I think, is usually the first to go. And then you kind of feel like waking up and you feel balanced. I don't know. I just felt balanced. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I feel really good, right? Within that. So everybody, like I didn't lose the 20 pounds in a month. I've been doing this since February. It took me from February to August to lose the 20 pounds. It has been the best decision for me. It gradually kept coming off, and it gradually just kept getting better and better and better. It has been a game changer for me. It has been a life changer for me. I still work out. I still focus on protein. I still do everything that I've been doing for the last 10 years, but now I'm actually adding tools into my body that actually work to give me my results that I've been wanting. And even my husband would be like, you're never getting off of this because you are a better person. I'm not yelling. I'm not like screaming at them. I feel better in my skin. I feel like my hormones are balanced, right? Now, I've also added a lot of different peptides to that, but I first started off with the GLP. Then I added NAD, and then I added Simorlin. Now, I love Simorlin. If you are somebody who's dealing with low libido, if you are somebody who is dealing with hormonal balance, if you are somebody who just can't sleep at night either, Simorlin's going to be your best friend. I love Simorlin. The other reason I love it is because it does work in that in that visceral belly fat area. And it was really going to work up to that about 15%. It's also going to protect your muscles and help you grow lean muscles. Whether you're not even working out yet, it's still going to protect those. Whether you're just walking because you're just getting used to that, it's still going to protect your muscles. And that's what I loved, is because even though we're on a weight loss journey, we still want to protect our muscles and make sure that everything is good. But the libido part of it, the sleep part of it alone, I love it. I love Simorlin. So those are my top 3 peptides. Is going to be a microdose, whether that's the GLP, the GIP, and or I should say semaglutide or tirzepatide. We have both of those. And then NAD definitely for energy. Now I know somebody asked, like, how long does that take for sometimes to realize what's happening? NAD can take a while. I'm just going to tell you that, because as we get older, our energy levels totally drip down. And so NAD may take a while for your body to really realize what you're doing to it and filling it back up, because you have to rise your NAD levels. And so you might not feel that burst of energy right away. It will take, I don't notice it until I'm off of it. And then I'm like, oh crap, I need to be back on that. So, and I don't think higher is always better on that either. I do think the lower dose can sometimes be better. Higher is not always good, because NAD can also have a reverse side effect. If you are, if your levels are getting too depleted, meaning too much, or they're too really, really low. And so sometimes the high is not going to do that. So I then, those are my 3 peptides, you guys. And this has been a game changer in me. I've lost my belly fat. I've lost 6% 6 to 7% body fat. I've lost 20 pounds now. And now I'm maintaining. My body has not lost any more weight, but now I'm maintaining everything. And this is what I love about microdosing, is because it's a low dose approach to people who maybe need to lose that 10 to 15 pounds. Now, if you have more than that, I would recommend the weight loss version, just because I don't want you to struggle, right? I don't want you to struggle with that weight loss journey with that either. And then I always say start with one. Do we need to add everything at once? No, you can add everything in as you go, because if your goal is just weight loss right now, let's focus on the weight loss. We can focus on other things as they come, right? And I mean, I just like, this is why I preach about it now, is because I didn't tell anybody that I was doing it for almost 2 months. And everybody thought I was still doing my GLP-1 drink and was like, oh my God, it's finally working 6 months in. And I was like, nah, I can't do that no more. I can't lie, right? And so I finally came clean one day on Facebook, and it's been even a game changer with that, because these are in high demand products also. And to know that like my insurance was going to deny me, I did not have a high BMI, and then being able to be a doctor prescribed company was still like a very big thing for me. And so when I started talking about it more and more people are like, I'm doing it too. And I'm doing it in the hormonal balance of it, the shift balance of it. And you guys, I literally, like, I would go to bed feeling bloated and wake up bloated. I don't even remember the last time I felt like that. I don't remember, like, usually on Sundays, like nothing's going on. And I'm usually like snacking away and like, let's eat, let's eat, let's eat. I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't need, like, my husband's like, you don't want a donut? I'm like, nope, I don't want a donut. Like, I just don't want that stuff anymore. And it's not that I don't, like, I can still have it. Like, I still have my ice cream. I still enjoy my food. I'm just not in that mood of craving it anymore. I'm not feeling like, oh my God, I need it to survive, if that makes sense. And I am obviously still choosing healthy snacks to eat. I do focus a lot on protein. I don't macro count. I don't calorie count. I don't believe that we need to do that on this journey, because it actually can hurt you more when we do that. But this journey has been an eye opener to me, for somebody who was an all natural girl, never going to inject me with anything, that I have been an eye opener. It's just been life changing. And here I am. I got my husband doing injections now because he feels the difference. I'm doing injections and I love them. I love them. This isn't just about weight loss. This is about a hormonal balance change in your body. This is about making you feel better in your skin. This is about making you want to have sex more. This is about making you sleep better. This is about making you feel better in your own clothes, your own body, you guys. And that's why I now preach about it so much, is because I felt, even though I was a woman doing everything right at the age of 46, my body was not listening to me at all. My body was like, hell no, we're not doing this. And now that I have found the solution, I don't want to have women that I know feel like this anymore. I want them to feel like themselves again. Whether you are 30, 35, 40, 50, 60, like, this is the great thing about it, is that we don't need to live miserably anymore. We can actually enjoy our lives, and we can enjoy our husbands again. We can enjoy our family again. We can enjoy ourselves again. We don't have to have that food control us. We don't have to have the weight control us. We don't have to have that. And I know that once I feel good on the inside, I start feeling better on the outside then too. And so it was a complete 360 for me, you guys, a complete 360. And I still show up every day. I still do my workouts every day. I still do all those things. I look at this as like, this is not another supplement that you go buy at Costco. This isn't a supplement that you buy from another supplement company. This is actually scientific base that has been around for decades, that is actually working and getting people their life back. It's also preventive against Alzheimer's. It's preventive against dementia. It can prevent against other things. So if I'm like thinking, okay, well, I know that this science-based back thing can do all this stuff, why would I not take it? Right? All we hear is weight loss, but there's more to it than just weight loss. And I just know the way that I feel now, like I don't ever want to go back to the way I was feeling again. It's like being an alcoholic, and I'm an alcoholic. I don't want to go back to drinking and feeling like I did before. I want to keep moving forward and feeling better, being able to play with my kids. Hopefully they'll have grandkids someday, being able to show up for them, being able to move, to go outside, to do these things without feeling miserable, right? And it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what weight you are. We all have our own miserable feeling depending on where we are in our lives. But this is the solution that is going to change your life. And I promise you, it will change if you are willing to do a couple things also. Now, like, so, because I don't like that people say, I never have to work out and I never have to do this. You do have to do something, right? You do have to eat. You do have to have protein. I suggest working out. It may not be right away. I get that, but I suggest moving your body some, right? Because it isn't just about quick fixes. This is about long longevity and making it last longer so that your body that God gave us can live to the fullest that we need it to be. So if you guys have any questions, my time's going to run out because I only do a Zoom for free. So I got like 3 minutes left. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to Tony or I or whoever invited you to this Zoom, you guys. Again, this is just our first one. This is just the tip of the iceberg, you guys. But I know that the women that are on here, if they are on here so much, they have seen their results. And this is why they brought you to this. And I would not be here preaching this or doing this if I did not see my own results. And I know I've said this before on other supplements that I've been on, but you guys, this is it. Like, this is the real deal. This is it. And I just want to make you feel better. I know that these women want to make you feel better. And so this is the time to do it. This is, like I said, this is the year, this is the month I started. Imagine what you could feel like in 6 months, not even 5 months. I'm not going to guarantee you that you're going to lose 50 pounds, but even 10, 20 pounds, what would that feel like for you? So with that, I'm just going to end it. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to anybody that invited you to this. We will have a replay. So the ladies who are on this, who maybe want a replay, to send somebody down 50 pounds. Look at that. Someone's down 50 pounds already. Like, it's unreal, you guys. Like, this is it. I know Carrie Moore. I know you're what, down 17 pounds? 17 pounds, you guys. Like, this is happening. And so yeah, 6 to 7. So yeah, you guys, it is happening. We do it the safe way, where you're not about, let's just get it in and lose 20 pounds in a month. We do it the safe way so that you can take care of yourself then too. And the journey is meant to be down there. 45 pounds. Like, look at you guys. If you go look at the comments, we got 45 pounds. We got, like, then this is 6 and 7 months, you guys. So imagine if you started today, what this could look like for you. Imagine that. So,
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with Maria on everything you're saying. And I forgot to leave one thing out. I know we're going to end here in a second, but I had a full circle moment when I went to the doctor and got my blood work done the other day, 8 months in, to see what it could do for my levels. And let's just say everything is improving.
nice.
I was supposed to go on cholesterol medication if it didn't. And here I am, no cholesterol medication because
All that.
went back in to guidelines. So lots of health
Awesome.
benefits. And I'm so thankful for all of you trusting us on the journey if you're ready here.
Yes. Yes. I know. Look at someone saying her fibromyalgia is better. Her sex life is better. You guys, like, everything, you guys, like 45 pounds. That's amazing. 28 pounds. That's amazing. You guys, 20 pounds, me, this is all unreal. And so if you're ready to take control of your life, you guys, we can help you with that. And so just know that we are here for you. We're here to support you on this journey, making sure that everything is right for you. So thank you guys for joining us. We'll probably do this again and again this month and that. And so just take care of yourselves, love yourself, and know that you guys are so worth it. Okay. So thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Thanks all.
Bye.